Yo, 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 what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Nick, uh, going on HOU Trader on the gram. You can also find me on the YouTubes, as you can see here, Twitters, and on the gram it's Big Tuna. So check it out, guys. I've been gone for a while. I've been out of town roaming around, but hey, I'm back home. So we're gonna get back into the swing things, back on overviews every night, and back to live trading in the morning. So please jump back on with us and let's get it back back in the saddle. Hey guys, this is for training only. This is not for financial advice. If you need financial advice, please go see a financial planner. All right, so let's just start off with Goldie since we're sitting here and we're looking at it. Goldie. So this is what I think is going to happen on Goldie. As you can see, let's just zoom out just a bit. I like this little view what we're in right here. Okay, we're kind of in a downward trend, right? But we still haven't broken this high and we still haven't broken this low. So technically, this entire time for the last, I don't even know how long, right? Since, well, this was on December 23rd. So since December, we have just been consolidating in this entire area. Okay, so we're still going to continue to play off of those fibs on the higher time zones, which you can see here. So what are we going to do now? So I see this big liquidity area that needs to get taken. I just don't know when it's going to get taken, but I think that's the ultimate target. Okay. I was in buys down here. As you guys know, we caught it right on this red line, and I actually ended up closing out my trades on this double top. I did see this double top. And did see this break of structure. So right in this area, I went ahead and entered a small position just so I could be in when this thing hopefully breaks its trend line and goes. If I'm asleep or if I'm not around when it catches, I'm in. Again, not a full position, probably a quarter of the position that I normally take. If this thing does go into some serious drawdown, it's not going to kill me. It's going to be okay. I'm not going to freak out. All right, but I did want to put a position in because I do think eventually this is going to sell off before it gets all the way up here and breaks this liquidity area up here. So that gets us to where we are at today. Okay, so I see this down push, this big bear, and then we have a three push up to the top. Okay, so like an Elliott wave up. So one push. Let me get the little arrow here. Here we go. One push up, down, up, down, third push up. And so on this third push up, as you can see now, let me get rid of this magnifying thing. Drives me crazy. Um, as you can see on this third push down, or this could be the third leg up, it did break internal structure. So let's zoom in now, guys. So when we come in here, let's go to the 15-minute. So as you can see up top, we have a high, low, high, and low. It's a higher low, and then right here it failed to make a new higher high, and then again it made a new lower low. So right here, this would have been the change of character. This right here would have been then the break of structure. Okay, on this one right there. So it broke structure. It hasn't broken trend line yet, but once it does, it'll be like a double dip, double break of structure. So really what we could do is we could find this fib here and enter when it gets back up here, right? We could short it here. But here's the deal, guys. I don't really like that trade that much because if we come back out to the 2 hour, I still see let me get rid of this green box. I still see this box right here. I still see all this liquidity. I still see this liquidity, this wick, this liquidity. I see all this. This is the top it's been touched. As you can see, it's fighting it as resistance. But guys, the market, I think people are jumping in. I already did. I already took a small. But I think more people are jumping in, and the market is going to want to to screw them out of their trades. To be honest with you, so what do I think? I think this is going to pop off, come up here and at least get into these wicks. If not, maybe go a little bit higher. It might even target this wick. So really, I want to play this up here as the swing marker. Okay. And I think it's going to come through here and take all this out first before it breaks, but then come back down here, get some of this liquidity, and then it'll have enough steam to come up here and really take out this liquidity. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen yet, but I'm skeptical and I'm hesitant to enter a full position, a full short position. So if that is the case, right, and we're saying we're playing the bigger fib right here, top to bottom, right? The 78.6, our buy zone. As we know, Goldie loves 78.6. And let's mark this off here as the sell zone. Excuse me, not buy zone. All right. So there's our sell zone. The TP for this, for that is also for the push up. The second leg is also in our sell zone. So we're having some fibs line up. I'm just going to be skeptical. I'm just going to be hesitant on pulling the trigger. So here's the second leg, guys. From the bottom here to the top here, or excuse me, that'd be the third leg. I guess the second leg would be from, let's just make sure we're on the right spot here. The second leg would be right there. And the 61.8 TP is right above all these wicks. So that's a good sign. And the second leg for this would be, or the third leg, excuse me, right there. But I don't think it's done. So it's kind of hard to tell on that one. Um, but let's just say that there are some fibs that are lining up in this area. Like particularly, I think the fib is from here to here. And that is right above where these wicks are. So that could be our spot. And if that is our spot and we bring it down to here, that's the 88.6 is really right there. I like to see it on the 78.6, which is rejecting now. So it could reject from here. It might not give us the wick up, but I kind of think it is. So really, what I would rather do is enter up here and then hold that as a swing. And if that loses, then I'll probably look for another entry in here somewhere, and then again hold the stop loss above there. But our first shot is going to be in this area. So what I'd like to see is at least come to here and hit these wicks, hit this liquidity, maybe a little bit above it, and then break the trend line. I just don't think it's done. I see it. I think maybe it'll come down a little bit lower to the trend line and then pop off. But it's either sells. We'll have to look at the RSI. It's either sells right here where my little box is, or the one that's up higher. We don't know yet. I'm just going to sit on my hands. Again, I did enter a super small position right there, and my stop loss is way up here, and I'm targeting way down at the bottom. So it's basically a 50-50 trade. I don't care. It's a small amount, and I just want to be in it just in case it tanks. So that's our plan. Our plan A is to catch this when it comes up. What would our plan B then be, right? So if I get rid of all these fibs, the only fib that we could then draw, I won't say the only one, but the one that I think would be the best would be from here to there. Again, you have this liquidity. And so my plan B would be this thing tanks from here, breaks this. We find some support in this order block here. And then once we grab that liquidity, it will give us enough steam, enough momentum to come up here and set the high and break all this stuff. So again, our buy zone would be right down here, the 78.6, which is right on these wicks. And this is also right on this order block area, right? See this big order block right here, all these channels, this consolidation right there. That's kind of the order block right there. It's not kind of the order, it is the order block. The order block is right into our zone as well. So if it tanks from here, we're going to look to enter right here at the 78.6, depending on what the RSI looks like. But I love that spot right there for an entry. And if it doesn't, if it pops off, we'll look for a little wick and figure out where it's going to start turning around, come to some internal structures and short. So I think the play really is going to be the short first. If it sinks from here, I'm already in a small position. We're good to go. We'll bag some profit, and then we'll look for the buy. So there's plan A, plan B on Goldie. Let's talk about NASDAQ. I've really been concentrating on NASDAQ the last couple of days. And unfortunately, I was trying to buy off of this. I was such an idiot. I wasn't at home the last couple of weeks, and I've been messing around my phone. And I was trying to buy off of this 78.6 and this 50 right here. I was failing to see that there was liquidity sitting here. This is a problem with trading on your phone, guys, is you don't have the full perspective. You don't have everything in front of you. And it makes it more difficult to make educated decisions. And a guy in the group, shout out to Colton, told me, "Hey man, you're entering at liquidity. Why are you doing that?" And I said, "Shit, you're right. Too late. I'm already in. So might as well, I accepted the risk before I took the trade. And of course, what did it do? It smashed right through all this liquidity like I would have known it was going to do. It did not hit the 88.6, or excuse me, the 78.6. It is right above it, and it took off. In my broker, this is showing as a gap. All right, this is, let me basically from here to here is a gap. So I think that gap is obviously going to get closed. So what am I thinking is going to happen now? So let's just delete this trend line and let's delete this fib. Let's delete this fib for now. Honestly, guys, what I think is going to happen is going to be something like this. Okay. This order block, as you see, is right here, right where the 618 is, which is right where this price is at now, but it's not overbought. So I'm assuming that tonight through Asian and through London, it's going to do some of this. Okay. It's just going to do some of this back and forth, up and down, da da da. And then coming in tomorrow, I'd like to see a wick up to this 88.6 and then a sell off. So my plan A is going to be to sell right there at the 88.6. I need to get rid of this actually, but I'll do that later. So sell at the 88.6, and then we still need to come down here and get a good retracement to this 88.6 into the bottom of our buy zone. Okay. That's some hefty pips. That's my plan A. I hope this works because that would be it. That's 600 pips. I would take that all day long. We would use this down here as the order block that would need to come and get. I mean, if you look, guys, unfortunately, it already took out this liquidity. Okay. It took it out and it took out this liquidity as well. And then it turned around and flipped. And we missed the buy. Hey, it's not our fault. It is what it is. I did not take buys. I don't trade that late in the afternoon. And I definitely don't trade trades right before the market closed going into Asian. So it is what it is. So the only thing we do now is wait for this order block to get taken out, wait for this wick right here to get taken out, and then we have this little kissing candle area right inside here, right? You guys can see that. It's these two candles. Let me zoom in for you. These little kissing candles in this area right here. And so potentially that's going to be the area where we're going to need to buy, which happens to be right inside of our sell zone. So if we're looking to really get a sniper type of entry, we would look even tighter inside of this zone. But again, I'm usually liking to sell at the 88.6. Perhaps I'll sell just a little bit shy of the 86, like right in this area. And then that's cool. Like if I miss it by a few points, I don't get the absolute sniper entry. I'm so cool with that. So that's the plan for tomorrow. Let's reset this chart. So the first plan A would be to sell. And then where do we buy? It's going to have to come all the way down here. So there's really no buys, right? I mean, you could say, and I wouldn't do this, and I'm not going to do this. You could say it comes down and it retests this breaker block area, and then it pops back off. I'm not taking that trade. I'm going to take it down below here. So it's going to need to clear there before it does that. And hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it comes up here in our sell zone. We find an entry, we smash for 600 pips, and we call it a week. 30th to 30. Okay, so we set this plan A and plan B up last night, and it still hasn't hit, guys. So we're still not in a trade. When this does this back and forth, especially today when the market came and it's just back and forth, you know that liquidity hasn't been taken. The market's not ready. It's not ready to buy or it's ready to sell. This is just screwing with people and collecting orders. This whole area right here. So I might as well just put a big block right here and say no trade zone. We're not messing around in this block. All right, guys. And so just as important as it is to find where you trade, it's going to be important to realize where you don't need to be because it's just back and forth, wicking people in, wicking people out, stop loss, whatnot. So with that in mind, our plan A is still the same. Come up to our zone, the 78, 88.6 zone, which is right here. This is our sell zone. All right, on the bigger fib. It's already hit once, but it did not leave. Okay, it did not come out here and clear all the liquidity. So that's telling me that it's going to come back up here and retest this area. Either it's going to do two things. It's very clear. It's either it's going to retest the area and then come down and smash liquidity, or it's going to set an all-time high. And if it sets the all-time high, we lose the trade. It is what it is. We're going to look for the RSI. We're trying to find confluences, and hopefully we don't lose the trade. Okay, we're going to do our due diligence, but we're going to stay patient. So if you look at that big fib on the sell side, you have our sell zone here. And if you also draw the fib from this top to this bottom, right, you have the sell zone right there. Okay, so this double sell zone, double fib area is starting to stack up. So again, let's start to look. Let's see what Asian does. I don't have much faith that this is going to keep pumping. I can leave the plan A and plan there. But honestly, again, I think it's just going to start to consolidate. And then tomorrow, maybe give us a wick up and then smash down. Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's got that big gap. It needs to fill that gap. And I mean, that's, excuse me, that was a Nas. It's still though, I still think it's not done. One, two, that is the third leg. Let's see what the fibs look like on the buy side. So we'll delete this fib on the sell side. 61.8. I mean, that's a pretty strong, that is the magical fib number. But we know that US 30 doesn't care about 61.8. It cares about the 88.6. So it really likes the bigger retracements. So again, on the sell side, we want to play this fib. Okay. Because why? What do? We enter after liquidity's been taken. Here's liquidity being taken right there. So let's wait until it gets right up here. Shit. I wonder if I should just do a limit now. Like just manage my risk. Don't over leverage and just do a limit now in case tonight we get wicked in. But honestly, if we do that, guys, we need to set the stop loss up here because we really, so perhaps we do that. Perhaps we set an 88.6 entry now. We put the stop loss though on the bigger fib. All right, because it's still in our sell zone. You know, if our sell zone is this right there, we're still entering in our sell zone and where our stop loss is still the same. I don't want to try to get too cutesy and too sniperish and put our stop loss right here at the 1.1 because there's a very good chance that high gets smashed and then it takes out this. Oh, I mean, hold on. Let's look at this. This is why I love talking and doing this out loud because look at this. This top right there. That's a double top. That's getting taken out. All right. That's going to get taken out right there. That's pure liquidity. So then so we need to be a little more patient then. So if that's our goal and that's getting taken out, we don't want to enter here. We want to enter above. There's nothing to the left. There's no other structure. This is our only structure to go off of. That's tough because that'd be a triple top. The RSI is overbought, overbought, overbought. We just gotta be patient, guys. I would love to say that we could enter right here, but I just don't see it. Not with this double top sitting there. Um, it could be sitting all time highs. I hate to say it. Maybe there's just not a sell there. Maybe this just should be setting all time highs. It came down, doubled. I mean, came down, grabbed liquidity, did not set a new high, came back down, came back down. And we got to paint this picture in our head, guys. We got to figure this out. So, I mean, technically that's the high. That's the one push, two push, but then it broke. So it's not giving us the Elliott wave. How do we get down to our buy zone? This is liquidity. It should hold this. I mean, it should. Hmm. I don't want to enter at the, I mean, you don't want to enter here. You do not want to enter right there because that is at the top of liquidity. It's going to get smashed. I don't know, guys. This is a tough one. Maybe this is one of those ones we just sit and wait because we either sit and wait or we do this, and we just manage our risk properly. And maybe that's what the key is. We'll enter a 1%er here. We'll manage our risk properly, and then we'll aim for this down there. And that's a 2-to-1 trade. It's not beautiful by any means, but again, we're entering territory now where we leave a runner, and the damn runner just might run for a really, really, really long time. You know, if we look at the daily chart, look at all this area that this runner could run to. So let's just come back to the 1 hour. And this is okay. So this double bottom here hasn't been hit either. So maybe our TP shouldn't be right here. Maybe our TP1 should be down there. We're just trying to hold it for like a longer banger kind of a trade. And that gives us a 2.5-to-1. And then again, if this starts to push off, we just protect and we just start doing a falling. I mean, if this thing starts to turn around, then we immediately move our stop loss to there. You know what I'm saying? And then that's a 5, almost a 6-to-1. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put my limit here at the 88.6, maybe just a few pips short of the 88.6. I don't want to miss out on this trade. That's exactly what happened to me here. I had my entry just a few pips short, and it missed it by like even less pips. I mean, I missed that trade by just a few. So again, I'm gonna try the same thing. Put it there. I'm gonna put my stop loss up here above this. And if it sets all-time high, it is what it is. I'll lose a trade. But I'm gonna go target this double bottom right here. So I'm just going to delete this buy zone, and this is going to be my TP1 right there on that double bottom, and delete this. We don't have a plan B. We have a fucking one plan. That's this right there. I'm going to mark this as TP1 right here, the double bottom. All right, that's dirty 30, guys. That's the, and let's just see if we can't hold that thing for a banger. Let's see if we can't just hold it for a banger. All right, Goldie, again, one more time. Let's see if we can find a sell right above this purple box. I want to see a wick come through and maybe clear above it, and then we can look to sell. If we miss it and it just starts to tank from here, let's look to buy down here. That's a ways away. 30-30, we just went over. Let's look for a peak up. That's 88.6 and then sell off. NASDAQ, we're gonna have to sell from up here. There is no more buys. Unfortunately, we did not jump in that buy because we didn't know it was too, wrong time of the day and whatnot. But we'll wait for this order block here to get taken out, and this will probably consolidate today, tomorrow morning. I mean, I hope that's what it does. I hope this just consolidates, and then tomorrow gives us that wick. We got a lot of news tomorrow, guys. Gives us that wick, and then tanks back off to get us back down to our sell zone or our buy zone where we really need to be. So I'm gonna take this liquidity off that's already been smashed. And that's it. That's what we got, guys. Remember, guys, this is just financial, excuse me. This is just training. This is not financial advice. Please like, please share. I do this stuff for free. Mark these charts up. Let you see my thinking process. Let you see how I build my fibs. I look for zones. I look for Elliott waves. Use the RSI and how I try to map out a plan. And when I have A and B, let's see what the market does. Let's get ready for the market. So tomorrow, when we show up, we're not showing up blind. We have a plan. So those are our plans. So for NASDAQ, let me just mark it on here. NASDAQ plan A is there. That's really the only plan we have. Hit the wrong button there. It's the only plan we have. 30th to 30. What did we say? Again, this is our plan A. We'll mark it there. Down. We'll wait for that plan B after a while. And then Goldie is there. So basically, we're just looking for sells and everything. It's kind of weird, the indices and the gold have been not really acting the way they normally do, but it is what it is. We'll just adjust. So we're basically looking to sell everything tomorrow. It only depends on when we wake up, what the RSI is doing, and where the market is in the morning when we get there. And then we'll make an educated decision on which chart we want to play, which pair. Then more than likely we'll stick to that pair. I am going to set a limit now on the dirty 30, because that's the only one that's even really close. I don't want to mess around setting limits yet on NAS and whatnot, or in gold. I'm already in gold, but I want to play those ones manually so I can see what's going on. But I will, for some reason, I don't know why, set a limit right here, just below the 88.6 on the dirty 30, and see if we can't get a turnaround. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, please share, please leave a comment if you have any questions. I appreciate you guys stopping by and saying hello, or you didn't say hello, but you can comment. Thanks.